Hello, my beautiful collective. Ooh, there was like a little spirit flying across the screen right there. Confirmation right off the bat. I hope you're doing well. Happy Sagittarius season. Thank God. Thank God. Thank the spirits above that we are in Sagittarius season now to kind of temper some of this intense Scorpio energy that we've been feeling. Because we're still in it. We're still in the Mercury retrograde. We've still got planets moving through Scorpio. We're still feeling the intensity. We're still feeling the the boxing match, the cosmic boxing match is what it feels like. But we're here. We're in Sag energy, the archer, right? Long range. We're expanding now. We're expanding out of death, out of the underworld, into the glorious rebirth. And on the other side of that is celebration. Sag always feels like a celebration. It falls around the holiday season, right? We're approaching that time. It gets very festive. It gets very celebratory. It gets very exciting. So that's the vibes I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling very inner child, very fire energy. I have Sag. I have like my first house is split between Scorpio and Sag as well. So this is the part of me that comes out at this time. It's very bold. It's very big. Anyway, I'm not going to make this about me right now. Let's make this about you. Collective. Take what resonates, leave the rest. As always, let's get into the message. Let's find out. I'm holding this herbal astrology deck right now, so let's find out what influences are coming through. What kind of medicine. I'm listening to flute music in my ears as well, by the way, so, and it's quite loud. So if I'm yelling, that's why. No, I won't be yelling. Sometimes I love just listening to things while I'm channeling. It really brings the spirit up, and that's what it feels like right now. I'm feeling called to that, just feeling lifted. So, Spirit, what wants to come through here for this beautiful collective? We have Psychic Healing, Mugwort in reverse, and there's that owl there. That owl's been coming out a lot for me lately. I've been seeing owls everywhere. Owls, moon cycles here. Mugwort is such a beautiful scent, first of all. I think that was the very first incense I ever got was mugwort. But mugwort has this sort of slightly, it has like ethereal properties to it, like slightly psychedelic almost. Am I allowed to say that? I don't know. Anyway, we're unfiltered here today for the YouTube algorithms. Mugwort is very connective to exactly that, this psychic healing, these psychic worlds. It opens a portal to other realms. The beloved, Damiana, reverse here. Both reverse, interesting. It's like the inner beloved, the inner connected state, I'm hearing. Ooh, a burp wants to come through me. The inner connection between like polarities, dualities, right? Masculine, feminine coming together within one being, within one vessel, and rising up in glorious transcendence. That's kind of the vibe here. And it feels like you've been trudging this up. You've been doing a lot of healing, this collective, especially through, again, that Scorpio season. There's been a lot of really powerful activations, energetic activations. This could be part of it, is this merging within yourself, unconscious matter being removed, kind of being dissolved. That's what it feels like, dissolved, let go of in like raw, deep ways to make way for this new light. It does. It feels that there's this new light moving through you at this time. We're moving into the year of the horse as well here, coming out 2026. Feels like this is a longer range energy now with the Sag energy, where we're starting to see now the invitation from the year ahead. It's like the invitation from the horse of, all right, are you going to expand? Are you going to step into this freedom now? Now we've gone through the underworld. Now we've gone through shifting and transitioning and changing and this contraction and expansion. We're still going through that, but we're seeing more and more this new self emerging. We're seeing this new, like it's really happening. Like it's really happening now. I'm really becoming this expansive, momentous force that cannot be stopped. I'm seeing wild horses like running through fields. So yeah, that's the energy here. Okay, Spirit, could you show me some more cards for some more context here around this mugwort, this Damiana reverse here, psychic healing and the beloved reverse? Yeah, okay. Thank you. The walker with the unknown and a journey reverse here. We have the fate, accepting help and guidance on the bottom of the deck. I pulled these exact two cards for myself last night, so this is also like a message for myself coming through as well, I feel. So I'm with you in this. This is like an us together kind of an energy reading. The journey ahead, the journey that you are entering into for this next phase of your life might still feel a little unclear. It might still feel like, okay, I know all this is happening. I know the horse is coming in. I know this expansive, momentous force is beginning to this beloved, this, activation, this coming together, this like inner child, all of this is starting to take effect. However, I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what this journey is going to look like. And I think that's the point. The point is, it's like the forest. Like, you're not supposed to know until you're in it and it's happening in the present moment. I've talked a lot on this channel about our brain wants to cling on to like what the future looks like. Our mind wants to know all of the facts. It wants to know what's happening, how it's happening, categorizing it, labeling it, systematizing it. The mind can only go so far before the experience is the greater teacher. The actual experience, the physical, lived, embodied experience, the trust in the now, the trust in the fate, the trust that the fate that you've created for yourself is unfolding, the fate that you are intending yourself towards and that you know at a deeper soul level is yours, is coming. It's happening. The weaver, rediscovery and transition. It is always a transition. It's always a rediscovery. Every moment is a rediscovery of the moment. Like, every moment is a chance for rediscovery. And it's, can we get ourselves into that state where we're so in the moment, or we're so in the moment that it becomes this fluid thing that just evolves and leads us. That, to me, is like the horse energy. It's like the snake, the year of the snake, right? The snake is that kundalini, that untapped potential, that hidden magic. And that hidden magic is you in this magic in the present moment, in your expansive force. When the horse is running through the fields, wild horses, right? They don't know where they're going. Or maybe they have an idea. I'm not sure. But I feel that they more so go on instinct. It's instinct. They're running because they're free. They're running because they can. That's kind of the feeling with this collective, like creating, running forward, just being in flow and in expression because you can, just because you're here. That's the feeling. And you're evolving into that. Every moment you're evolving more and more into that. And a big part of it is letting yourself go there. That's the healing here. That's that psychic healing. Some of you are still working on letting yourself go there because it feels really vulnerable. I just did a message on my TikTok, Instagram about entering receiving mode and how that feels like a very vulnerable state because your mind is very used to upholding structure. It's used to upholding and knowing and like systematizing, like I was saying. But that state can only go so far before, again, the receiving mode, the experience, that vulnerable surrender is where it all magnetizes towards you. The heart, right? What feels right in the heart. And the heart can only receive, the heart can only guide us when it's open and allowed to receive and to emit through feeling. The heart, to me, is a perfect blend of the higher chakras, which is like thought, higher knowing, cosmic alignment, with the lower, the instinct, the impulse, the deeper evolutionary physical knowing of the human form. The heart is the blend of these two in one. I'm pushing my hands together really hard. It's like a Kundalini move. Maybe that's something. I don't know. Pushing the hands together, it like activates the heart in a big way. I don't know. Maybe you want to do that right now. Push your hands together and feel in your arms, your shoulders, across your chest, just that feeling of like that heart area being activated. Like that's where the intelligence is coming from right now. It feels like for you. That would be a good place to look. Okay, Spirit. This is such an interesting message. Let's go to the animal spirits. Ooh, we have the snake on the bottom here. I had pulled the snake for yesterday's reading that I didn't post because the energy was whack. But here it is now. That snake, you've been clearing, you've been purging. That's the preparation. That's the purpose forging. And now it's activating. The fate. This card, I'm not sure if y'all remember, if you've been with me for a while, I did a reading in the summer where I talked about all these timelines converging into one central point where it's like a snip and then a silence. That's happening. That is happening. It's funny how time is so non-linear and so illusory because it's like I can read for an energy and then in the energy it feels so now, but then it isn't until months later that I actually see, oh, that was that reading. And so that's how energy and these messages can work sometimes. But that's the feeling here. It's like that snip, that fate line. All these converging energies have come together and now you're in that space. You're in that space where it's like arrival. Ooh, we have the bee and we have the hawk reverse. So, okay, what's this? The bee. It's productivity, it's joyful work, it's creativity, it's working on the hive, right? Like bees are working on collecting like pollen and making honey and just creating a functioning hive. But it's not even that they're trying to like again structure something or create something. The structure itself comes together because they're just going based off their natural instinct again. And this is something I want to talk about too, and I was going to talk about it in my video earlier today about the different kind of creativity of art. Like some people want to do something big and structured and long form, and some people just want to be in the moment, spontaneous. Both together are one. This is that merging of that masculine and feminine, that kundalini coming together within. It's like this transcendent state where structure orders itself from spontaneity, from presence. Structure itself finds its way into reality in a way where your mind does not have to have the whole plan planned out. It's that the structure reveals itself as if it were already something that was going to happen regardless. You just had to tap into it. You're working with a greater intelligence. That's how the universe works. The universe works not based on trying to, again, figure it all out. And that's this hawk reverse. And now I have the unicorn coming out underneath. The unicorn being the third eye, expansion, seeing beyond what the veil, what the illusion is showing you. The hawk reverse, the hawk talks about a message. It talks about being a messenger, some kind of knowing. But with it being reversed, it almost feels like you don't need a message. Even this message, like you don't need a message. You don't need someone to tell you. You don't need messages, it feels anymore. Interesting. It feels like you don't really need any new information. It just feels like you need to know that this is the state you are in. That as long as you trust the presence, trust the heart, there's something way greater than you working through you. And oh, this state of being, y'all. I've been operating in, like for the last 5 years on my spiritual journey, I've been going in and out of this state as well, where it's like you have these seasons where you're so present and just things just work out for you. And it's like, how? I don't even understand. Like the signs, the synchronicities, the people, the pieces. It's like, it's a vortex. It's literally the vortex, right? You know, when Abraham Hicks talks about the vortex, it's that vortex where you become such a central present point of consciousness in light and awareness that light and awareness organizes itself around you effortlessly. That's the flow state. Even in science and scientific psychology and stuff, when we talk about this flow state, that's what it is. So call it whatever you want. This is the place you're finding yourself now. And that's something to celebrate. That is something to celebrate this holiday festive season. So let's get into the tarot. Let's find out more. I'm interested. This energy could keep going and going. It feels like the horse, the expansive momentum, where maybe before you would run out of steam. Maybe before you couldn't maintain this state. You're learning to maintain it now. You're learning to maintain it now for longer periods. The horse is about stamina as well, right? Horses are like very strong earthen creatures, but very gentle as well, which reminds me of spiritual, peaceful warriors, right? So many of you out here, all of us out here, you are gentle, beautiful creatures, but you're strong and you're powerful and you stand your ground. And you know that sometimes you got to have a strong-willed sort of, horses could be that way, right? They can be very stubborn, like digging their hooves in and not doing what others want them. Like, that's the energy here. The horse is a very big spirit animal for this collective right now. What else wants to come through here, Spirit? Thank you. The Emperor reverse and the Page of Wands reverse. And the Knight of Wands reverse. Wow. Wow. Okay, the Emperor is Aries energy. And the Page and the Knight of Wands reverse. I'm hearing like you are graduating to another level of fire energy where maybe in the past fire energy felt difficult for you, or it felt immature for you, or it felt like you were resistant towards it in other people, right? This you considered fire energy to be like dominating, controlling, ego, right? And that's what it is. It represents all those things. But these things are not bad. These things are part of our existence and experience. Solar plexus, that's all what that solar plexus is. But the healthy solar plexus is to be present in the solar plexus. So it looks like this structured decision-making, action-taking, but it comes from that flow still. It comes from that transcendent flow when it's healthy. The lower vibrational aspect of the solar plexus that I think much of our world is in right now. This is the consciousness I feel the world is very much in. The world is struggling right now, I feel, to jump from the solar plexus to the heart as a global collective. So this is why that solar plexus energy, I think, can be so difficult for a lot of us in the spiritual collective, because it's that space where our like sort of higher physical masculine energy exists, where our higher active energy exists, but it right now is tied up in the example outside in this like patriarchal sort of rigid, hollow, very overly egoic, like overactive sense in our society. But you're learning how to transcend that because when the solar plexus and when action, when structure, when discipline, when planning feels in flow, it does not feel at all like how we've been trained or conditioned to do that. It does not feel like shame. It does not feel like, oh, you should get on it. It does not feel like, oh, you should do this or else you're not enough or you're not valid, etc. It's this feeling of, I do it because it feels in flow for me. It feels in divine timing. It feels in self-respect. It feels like the natural step to take. It's this bee. The bee is a very like solar plexus animal to me, an energy. But look, it's that yellow with the green. It's the heart as well. It's pushing up into the heart. It's doing that work, and it's taking those actions, it's taking those steps, not because that's what I have to do to be valid and to show up a certain way, or because I'm trying to fulfill a certain void that I've been taught to be insecure about. It's because I'm showing up in love, and because it feels joyful, it feels radiant, it feels right. Like it shouldn't feel like such resistance, right? And it is the challenge. A confirmation where it wants to come through. That solar plexus for a lot of the spiritual community is like such a challenge. The lower chakras in general, but and maybe I'm speaking to just my collective here, but that solar plexus, yeah, it's a challenge. Yeah, having a sense of self that's not distorted by our external ideas of what that should be. And it's so easy for that to happen. So easy for that to happen. So it's like you're stepping out of the immature energy of this, right? It reminds me of like, this is just the template, but this is all regardless of gender, by the way. But this energy just reminds me of that vibe of like young teenagers or like young teenage boys, just because this is what I saw growing up, like young teenage boys trying to just like outperform one another, or trying to like talk all this talk, you know, like just all talk, but the real confidence and the real self-esteem comes from just an inner knowing and an inner flow. And it doesn't even like, here's the thing too, it doesn't really perceive like how others are viewing it. It only really perceives its own flow and how that feels. So if you are in any way perceiving, oh, how are other people looking at me, or how are other people perceiving this, or how is, well, it's as simple as that. If you're focused on that more of the time than you are on like the flow of how it feels in resonance for you, then that's a sign that and this is part of the energy, right? It's like, I don't want to tell you what you should do, and I don't want to tell you that you should change, right? Because that's that lower vibrational energy of it. It's more of an allowance here. Yeah, that's what it is. It's more just like allowing yourself to flow into what action feels good for you, not what action should I do, right? So it's so interesting. Those cards just brought out like a whole, I don't even know, interesting lesson in the middle of this reading, even for myself. But that could be part of the next step for you, is learning how to wield this fire energy in a more mature way. Like you're graduating into this. You're graduating into like the truth of what fire is. It's transformative. It's not the end all be all, right? It's not like who's the king of the castle and who's the dirty rascal, you know? It's fire was never meant to be the end of the totem. It's just the beginning of the higher spiritual realms of the heart and above, right? So using fire as a way to propel ourselves into the heart. Yeah. What else here, Spirit? Thank you. Ooh. And this is like a contraction and expansion, right? You might feel yourself really in the heart and really in that fire energy at one time, and then you're back down into like the ego, and you're like, what happened? But it's like that's growth. That's the waveform. It goes up and down, but it's always in an upward spiral. It's always moving up. So you'll find yourself in these energies more and more often, in more resonance towards like integration, if that makes sense. Anyway, 7 of Pentacles reverse and 9 of Pentacles reverse. Okay, this is coming back to another reading I did for short form, where you're not, like, I feel like in this time of your life coming up here, and what this collective has been awakening to and evolving into, if you're resonating with this message, is the goal here is not like material. The goal here is not material. It's not about working on something and like grinding every day, you know, to try to create some material goal on the outside, whatever that might look like. That could be a creative project, that could be a living situation, that could be like a type of career, a job, whatever. It's not, it's again so simple to get in our heads. This is the goal, this is what I'm striving towards, and I'm gonna make it happen. Where we hold on very like rigidly to that thing, and we think we have to show up a certain way and fulfill a certain schedule. Oh my goodness. Sorry, y'all. I just got distracted because my sister brought a new cat home from the barn, the horse barn. She rides horses, and this cat was at the barn where she rides the horses, and so she's been very skittish and like afraid of people and hissing at people, but she just came in here by her own accord and just walked under, and she was like blinking slow at me. So that's something about that, like warming up, somebody warming up to a new environment, a new way of being. Anyway, the energy here around that material thing, it's, I'm just seeing this as a collective of people, and if you're resonating with this energy, it's like you've tried this a lot of times in your life. I feel like, let's get this material goal in my mind, let's go XYZ to work towards it. And that works. That is how it works in the physical, in the third dimension, in the earth realm, right? But when that's the only way we're focusing, when we're only focusing on earth, or we're only focusing on like earth and fire, again, through that like structure of you must fulfill this template to get to this goal, to be like happy or to have fulfillment, or to be creative, whatever it is it's like dissolving out of relevance for this new frequency. I feel this new frequency that we're stepping into again is that it's like allowing creation to surprise you while you're working towards it at the same time, but it's because you're basing it on intuition and a trust rather than on this rigid idea of what you're creating, more so on like this inner alignment. You're focused on inner heart alignment. It's the feeling of the heart that you're moving towards. So when you get those intuitive hits, like, oh, I should go to the garden today. I don't know, I just feel like I need to go out in the garden, or you just feel like you need to stop at that store and look in that section, or I feel like I need to go to that person's page, or like whatever it is. It's like that's that greater intelligence organizing through you when you open to and surrender to the intuition. And that's how the actual circumstances your soul wants to magnetize around you start to come into that vortex, rather than you kind of in the mind or in the physical ego self going, let's get that to that place linearly, XYZ. And again, that can work. That works for people every day, all the time, everywhere. But it's a lot denser of a vibration, of an energy, than heart-centered creation, which is blending the higher knowing, the higher intuition with the inspired physical movement. And that physical movement feels flowing. It feels in the resonance of, this is what I should do at this time. Even something as simple as like doing your dishes. Like I'm hearing there's like times when I'll give you an example. There have been times with dishes, for example. This is such a funny, just simple thing, but there's like, for example, somebody who thinks they have to do dishes at the same time every day, every time, and that's just the way it needs to be done because that's the rule book, that's how the system I have set up works, that's whatever. But it's like not, you might start to resent it or feel like it's an obligation because it's not in alignment with your flow personally. Maybe your personal flow is, maybe sometimes the dishes get done at that time, and other times it's okay to maybe just leave them for a while, and then you feel in the flow to do them a few hours from that, or maybe the next morning or something. And I know not everyone can always do these exact things. Take this how it resonates in your situation, but that's the very simple metaphor for it. It's like, and this is more that creative, intuitive way of looking at things versus the rigid, like mental categorization, overly masculine way of doing it, right? So take that into account, right? It's okay for your flow and for your intuition and for your heart to lead you in a different direction or way than what other people or other systems tell you it should. And as long as you're consistently showing up in the heart with respect for yourself and all beings around you, you can't go wrong. Even if it looks or is labeled wrong. There's no right or wrong, right? There's no good or bad. It's just what is. What is energy? The energy, it's neutral. Where do you direct the energy? That's all. And how does that feel aligned with you in the moment? So, okay. Where does this message want to go now, Spirit? Because it does. It feels like we're getting into these big concepts here in this message. It started as like, this is the era, but it feels like for some reason this is important for you to know. It feels like a lot of you are stepping up your embodiment of aligned manifestation and aligned creation, where it starts to feel miraculous. It starts to look miraculous on the surface. Yeah, like a lot of you are really, really, it's getting real. I saw there was a comment on one of the videos yesterday, and I responded to it, where it's like, it's getting real. Like these things that we're feeling, all these concepts, all this spiritual knowledge we all have, all of this intuition, all these messages that have been leading us, it's now grounding into real, like it's real. Where our lives now are based on that, where we are actually out of the matrix, actually creating a new system, actually grounding this new earth reality into play, into like tuning into these frequencies and operating in that like 90% of the time, and the percentage just keeps going up. Like that's the feeling here coming up, and that we're moving into just joyful, heart-led creativity and love and connection, where everyone gets to be in their intuitive heart-led center. And when everyone trusts in that, then the greater system organizes itself into perfection. There's no need for the mind and the ego to be like, well, that doesn't work, and that's not going to work, and this is going to, because that's blockage. That blocks the flow. The mind is a tool for us to create, not for us to block ourselves. So that feels like the message. I think that's the message, actually. Yeah, Spirit's telling me, all right, yeah, that's the message. So I hope this all makes sense. I don't even remember most of what I was just talking about, which means it's a channel. But I love you lots. I appreciate all of you being here right now. And this is a very, very exciting time. Like, I just want to bring you all into my heart and like push love out towards you, and just for all of you to know how special and needed and beautiful all of you are. Sometimes when I come on here, it feels like sometimes I'm going through my seasons where I'm in a more isolated, my little Scorpio rising mode, where I have my times and I feel like, oh no, my collective, I want to be connected to them. But this is another moment of just, I'm so grateful for you. We're in this. This is what's grounding in just greater and greater opening and expansion. So the upward spiral. I love you lots. Take care. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.